Doctor Who Lux. Well, there's some good news and there's some bad news. The good news is that this is actually the best of the Shutigawa entire run. Um, there's still a lot of cringe. That's the bad news. There's still a lot of stupid crap going on. Um, this one was so close to being like a decent, run of the mill episode. Like, oh, it was okay, but they just couldn't help themselves. They just had to mess it up a little bit. So let's go through the space system. For the storyline, I'm going to give it 1 point. I was almost going to give it a bit more. It is a neat idea. So this weird light affects a projector in 1952 in a movie theater. They're watching, they'd have those cartoons. It'd be sort of before a feature or something. There'd be like a cartoon. It's like this silly cartoon ring-a-ding, and he's like a guy singing, dancing around. And the light, this strange light, affects it and makes the character like a real being. So it brings to life this light being named Lux, and that's the cartoon character that you see. So kind of a neat idea. He traps everyone in the theater, and kind of sucks them up into the film, and then they're literally the people in the theater are in the film now, so they're trapped. And then it's a little bit of Last Action Hero where the Doctor can go in and out, and him and Belinda show up. The reason why I can't give this full points is that there's a couple of really dumb things. So first of all, they keep trying to get back to the 2025 May 24th, and they can't get there. And I'm assuming that, I don't know if 2025 is completely locked out. They're not making a good job of explaining the larger picture story. So I just don't care about that. And why can't they go back to why can't they just go to May 25th or something? Like, you can't get her back to the 24th of May. So take her to the 20th of May. They don't really say anything why there's like, oh, I can't, it's locked. It's like, okay. The other thing too is that I don't like the idea that the Doctor keeps changing his outfit per episode. Like, I know that that's sometimes a thing, but I'd like the Doctor to become like just be one suit. Like this in my background here, you've got that's sort of like my favorite of his kind of looks. Like, just have that look, and that could be the Doctor. So that I don't like. And I know I'm taking that out in the story. It's not really the story in this particular episode. I don't mind the companion dressing differently to fit in or whatever. They also can't help themselves but throw in a whole bunch of little racist stuff. Because it's 1952 and they have to mention it every 10 minutes on the 10-minute mark that there was racism in 1952. And of course, nobody knows that. So thanks for letting us know, Doctor. We really appreciate that history lesson. How about get on with the story? There's also a part where the Doctor, and that's my thumbnail, he gets trapped in the cartoon. It's all very obvious. And then they tried to be clever in this episode by having these fans. So there's a part where the Doctor actually exits the TV, and it's like a TV in the home of these three super Doctor Who fans, who I question their fandom, because firstly, they're excited about watching the current series. So I know they're not real fans, but anyway, they have scarves and crap, right? And they're like, oh, what's your favorite episode? And they all say Blink, which is that people's favorite episode? I guess if you haven't seen any real Doctor Who, I guess Blink is the best. Blink was a fine episode. It's a very good, solid Moffat, episode. And the Weeping Angels are an amazing creation and a great monster. But really, like, it's better than what, Genesis of the Daleks or something. Like, surely they could have picked something else. Caves of Androzani, right? Like, Tomb of the Cybermen. Like, I don't know, like anything from like Tom Baker or Peter Davison, pretty much. Surely you could have picked something more classic to honor one of those Doctors and not Blink or whatever. I guess if you've only seen New Who, you might think Blink is your favorite, but no. Anyways, so that's kind of weird. It also affects the pacing, which I'm going to give it a 1. The pacing on this wasn't too bad, except for that very middle section. Right, and they say this in the show right before the third act, where all of a sudden they're doing these little mishap adventures. Oh, look, we're cartoons. He. How do we get out of here? Oh my God! It's like, what is happening here? This is like nonsense. It's literally just cartoon nonsense. Maybe that's the point, but it makes it slow. I wasn't bored, and I thought that everything was running really smoothly until that part. It just kind of brought it down. again, talking to these fans, they sit on the couch and like saying, "Oh, you guys are fans of Doctor Who? Yeah, R.I.P. Doctor Who." It's like, you know what, guys? Like, stop it. It's like, R.I.P. Doctor Who. What? The ratings suck. So what you should have said, if you're really being actually clever and meta, you should have. They should have said, "Well, the ratings suck, and you're a garbage doctor." They should have said that. Right? That's what they should have said, but they're not going to actually say that. Instead, they try to instead of paying a homage to the fans and being something kind of neat, where there's these fans that meet the Doctor who comes out of the TV, they use the opportunity to make fun of the quote unquote toxic fandom, which would, I guess, include myself, since I bought every Blu-ray and DVD and Blu-ray, so I have doubles of a lot of it, of every Doctor Who thing from William Hartnell till now. I even bought the David Tennant specials, and Ncuti Gatwa's series is not out yet. I'm a Doctor Who collector. I own K9. I own Torchwood. I own Class. Remember that show, Class? Sarah Jane Adventures. So I have massive. My Doctor Who collection can fill one of these whole things can just be Doctor Who. I've either met or have an autograph personalized to me from every Doctor from 4, even Jodie. I even have Jodie's autograph. So like, what am I? And because I don't like this new season, I'm supposed to be like one of these toxic people that they're like attacking. Yeah, right. It's like, I actually put money. I give you money. The people that love this show and tweet and say, "Oh, hashtag Doctor Who's the best," they're the ones who don't give you money. Did they buy anything on Blu-ray? Did they buy toys? Did they buy Sonic screwdrivers? Like the girl in that thing had a Sonic. I have that Sonic. So right there. Anyways, so brought the pacing down. Artistry, everything looked really good. I'm going to give it a 1.5. I really like the intro. Still like this intro. I like the TARDIS interiors. I like the look here of this theater. I like the 50s aesthetic. I thought that was really neat. I like the diner, going to the diner. That's kind of fun. I thought the cartoon guy, Lux, was pretty neat. There's a part where he's becoming like more like flesh and blood, like he's becoming a real guy. He looked pretty neat. I thought he was kind of cool. He could definitely have been creepy if they really went for the creepy factor. He's got like a weird piggy nose. He's got this blue. He's got like blue skin. He has like big, huge teeth. So they really could have like made that like a really scary character. Pretty awesome. I do like the outfits. Belinda wore like a classic kind of 50s outfit. She looked pretty good. I liked her hair and everything. I like the 50s look. I don't like the Doctor changing around his outfit. I don't mind the companions doing it though. The characters, this is a tough one. I thought, the Doctor cried yet again, man. If you cry every time, then nothing has any meaning, right? The problem is, it's like, oh, my goldfish died, cry, 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 cry. Oh, my dog died, cry, 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 cry. Oh, my son died, cry, 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 cry. Well, those three things are not equal, right? But the Doctor cries all the time, no matter what. Every episode. In this one, at the very end, when they show you the next episode, they show him crying. As though that's a selling point. Next week he cries again. So he's brutal. He's terrible. Belinda's okay. She's there to be there, I guess. The new companions are now just there to be there and be his friends. They're not standing out as anything. She is a nurse. They use that ability for about half a second when the Doctor is burned, and she's like, "Oh my God, let me see that burn." And they say, "Oh, it's okay." And then the Time Lord energy, the regeneration energy cures them. So it's like, I'll give it a 0.5 for the characters. There's a projectionist. He was like kind of just okay, I suppose. The enjoyment factor, I'll give it a 0.5. I'm gonna put my standard "This Sucks" title, because it does, end of the day, it does suck. If we're comparing this show, so I'm giving this a 4.5 out of a 10. The nerds, the Doctor Who nerds in the show gave this episode a 7 out of 10. Very high praise. I don't think, again, more evidence that they're not Doctor Who fans. I'll give this a 4.5 out of 10. There wasn't anything super cringe in this one, if you don't count the continuous pointing out of the racism. Like, there's a point where a cop comes in and he's like, "You're not supposed to be, a black man and a black woman," who he mistakes her. So you're not supposed to be here. and it ends up being fake, that's not an actual cop, that's just a projection from Lux or whatever. But we know why all this kind of stuff is in here. I don't understand why they just can't celebrate adventure and be fun. They keep mentioning Scooby-Doo as though the Doctor is Scooby-Doo. It's like, no, Scooby-Doo is much smarter, and it's better written, and it's a pretty cheese show. And I used to watch it as a kid. As a kid, I thought it was pretty cheesy, and it's still much better with better characters. And the Doctor compares himself with Velma, and it's like, you're not her. Anyway, that's pretty much it. If you've watched to the end, put ding dong in your comment. Only if you're against me. If you disagree with me, put ding dong, just so I know that you actually listened to all of my points. That'll be my my kind of fight back against these people who just say, "Oh, I'm just trolling" or whatever. Anyways, 4.5 out of 10. This wasn't the worst episode. This could have approached a couple of things. Could have made the story a little bit tighten up the pace and get rid of those stupid fanboy characters. Give it a little bit more. It's just like they're like, oh, burn the film, and then that's it. I feel like this Doctor has very easy outs. It's like, burn the film. There's never any moral dilemma, like, if I do this, this bad thing will happen, or there's no depth to anything. And it's just like, oh, there's a cartoon character. Okay, burn the film. Okay, we're done. And I know that's, I guess that's kind of sometimes happens in Doctor Who, but it just seems very lazy and not very fun. So anyways, that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you check out my other Doctor Who stuff. I have a lot of great Doctor Who classic stuff talking about Peter Davison. I've reviewed some Peter Capaldi episodes even. So check those out. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Until next time.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.